Okay, Bitcoin has got to hold this crucial level in order to stay bullish long term. And I want to introduce you to something you've probably not heard before called stage analysis. Okay, this is very popular in stocks. Stocks usually roll through 4 stages in its whole cycle. And I think we can apply these same things to crypto. And I think we can do it at a very high level. What we're going to do in this video is look at stage analysis. I'm going to teach you about stage analysis. And then we're going to look at Bitcoin and see, is all of this tariff news, is all the noise out there causing Bitcoin to change from stage 2 to stage 3? And what does that mean long term? Because, if we move into a stage 3, that means we could be headed for a bear market much quicker than we want to anticipate. And I just want to be prepared. Part of being good in crypto and investing well in crypto is having a good risk management. All right. So not all my money is in crypto. I got a lot. I actually have more money in stocks than crypto. And then in crypto, I have Bitcoin, I have Ethereum, I have Cardano, I have Cardano native assets. And so we're all about managing risk. We're never going to know what's perfectly right and what's perfectly wrong. Here's how we're going to use stage analysis to understand Bitcoin and possibly understand crypto. And this is going to be used on a very long-term strategy. So some of you might already be turned off by talk about trading. Just for clarification, I am not a trader. I am a long-term investor. I'm trying to find spots to invest like here, like here, like here, and I'm just trying to float with the movements. That's why we typically look at ADA Bitcoin charts or Solana ADA charts, and I'm just trying to find the best long-term asset to be in, and we're trying to answer the question of, is Bitcoin still going up? Okay, so what we're going to do here is look on the very long term. And to break stage analysis for you down really quickly, basically a stock or a crypto will move in 4 stages. Stage 1 is going to be this flat bottom. Most call it an accumulation zone, okay? This is our accumulation zone. That is stage 1. Stage 2 is the rise. This is the rocket ship. This is what everybody wants to ride, man. Stage 2 is the money-making time. Stage 3 is the distribution after stage 2, where, retail is kind of getting in, right? And they're getting wrecked, right? So stage 3 is that topping section. And stage 4 is the drop, okay? Stage 4 is the downwards before another stage 1. Then you can see we rolled into this in 2020, the 2021 cycle. Stage 1, which, kind of, depending on how you look at it, it kind of lasted all of this area. Stage 1. Stage 2 was the rise. Stage 3 was the double top that we had. Stage 4 was our last bear market that we had in 2022. Now this cycle, we have stage 1 right here. Stage 2 right here, which we're trying to figure out, are we still in stage 2? And then stage 3 would be an accumulation, okay? And we're trying to figure out in this video, are we still in stage 2 or are we slowly starting to begin stage 3? Now, I know a lot of you have never heard of stage analysis. And so I want to show you a little bit more about this real quick, okay? Just to make sure we cover the bases here. There's a couple rules. They're very simple rules, but there's a couple rules about stage analysis you want to follow. Stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and stage 4. And a lot of it's characterized around this 30-week moving average. So when you're doing this analysis, you want to be up here on the weekly chart. And here you can see this orange line that we have bouncing around is our 30-week moving average. We're also going to add this 40-week moving average for added benefit. But you can just roll through this. I'll put this link in the bio of this description. Also down there, we got our newsletter. We got the Crypto 100X Blueprint. We got a bunch of stuff down there, so check it out if you haven't checked it out yet. It's going to help you out in the long run. But this is going to break down all the 4 stages that we need to roll through. Okay, so stage 1 is going to have a flattening 30-week moving average. Declining volume and some volatility around the 30-week. Stage 2 is going to advance above the 30-week. And they actually outline even more rules. Stage 2 is actually going to have, higher highs, higher lows, but you're actually going to be above the 200-day. And then the 50-day could even tell you if you're even in a more positive momentum. Okay, so when you're in stage 2, you want to be above the 30-day. Stage 1, 30 days is going to go sideways. See this horizontal 30-day right here? Or I'm sorry, 30-week moving average. This horizontal 30-week moving average. Stage 2 is a vertical 30-week moving average, and you can even toss in a 200-day, and the 200-day should be above the 30-week. The 150-day should also be above the 200-day. It's all going to be in this document. Then, when you move to the stage 3, you will have a horizontal 30-week moving average. You can see here at the top of the 2021 cycle, we had a horizontal 30-week moving average. And you can see how here we kind of got horizontal just a little bit here in 2024, but we then continued higher. And the question is, are we going horizontal now, or will we continue higher? Okay, and then stage 4, let me show you. Stage 4 is going to drop below the 30-week moving average, and typically it will come back up and test it. But you can see right here, stocks will be near its long-term moving average. Decline continues. Moving averages, particularly the 30-week and the 200-day, will begin to slope downwards. All right. Basically a break below this moving average and a break below the stage 3 area is going to be your big spot to understand where to sell. So what is Bitcoin doing? That's the question I want to answer in this video. Well, if we look at it stage analysis, the same thing. This is what I personally am looking at and I want to share with you. Okay. Down here, you can see Bitcoin was falling and then it kind of had this wick right here. I think this is a very important wick for stage 1. Stage 1 seems to be in this space right here, with this being the first breakout above stage 1, testing back down against stage 1 and holding it as support. So we have this stage 1 support level. And then we came out above it, tested it, came out above it, tested it, and then we moved into a positive stage 2 above the 30-week moving average. Now this trend becomes even more powerful when you add the 40-week moving average in blue. You can see here how when the 30-week is above the 40-week, the price momentum on Bitcoin is very bullish. And we can see this back in history as well. Look at this, 30-week above 40-week, and then it flips. And then here it's volatile in a stage 1 accumulation. And then when we go into stage 2 again right here, 30-week is above 40-week. And then stage 3, they get volatile again, crossing each other a lot. Stage 4, 30-week below 40-week. Then they start crossing again. That's the stage 1 again. Stage 2, 30 weeks above 40-week. And then we are here today still in 30-week above 40-week. So it's technically still in stage 2. Okay. So that's the first thing we're looking at. We have a stage 1 here. We definitely are having a stage 2 section here. The question is, how long does stage 2 last? And what can we look for to determine when it's going to be over? Based on our guide, what we would want to see for stage 2 to continue is we want Bitcoin to maintain above the 30-week moving average. If it doesn't maintain above the 30-week moving average, we could start heading into a stage 3 distribution phase. But there's other things that can happen. You can see right here, we fell below the 30-week and below the 40-week, but very rapidly we popped back above it. There's also other key indicators that you could look at here to help kind of find a support level that this area could bounce on. You see, obviously with the all-time high, it's going to be a tough spot to get through. So a little accumulation is okay. The big question is, what kind of things can we look at in here today? And so the first thing about this is stage 2, in order for it to continue, needs to be above the 30-week and the 40-week. And you want the 30-week and the 40-week to maintain vertical, not horizontal, and to stay above each other. If this 30-week and 40-week start to move horizontal here, could be time for trouble. But you will have a way out. I'll tell you the way out. You will have a way out, okay? And so the first thing you want to look at for Bitcoin is, and this is very similar to 2017, I believe, we'll go back and look, is you want Bitcoin to stay above the 30-week and the 40-week. And if it breaks below, you want it to hold these first 2 lines of support. What makes these levels so important is that right here is like the previous higher high. And so in order for stage 2 to continue, you can see back here, it's continuously making higher highs and higher lows. It's continuously making higher highs and higher lows, beating old all-time highs and getting up there, and with not a lot of retracement to be exact, you know? And so right here, I think Bitcoin has got a couple decisions that it wants to make. One, it has to maintain these moving averages. 2, if it doesn't maintain the moving averages, it needs to hold this support where we have a previous highest wick, or this support where it was a consistent high level of resistance that then flipped to support here. Okay, so this area between 69,000 and 73,000 is going to be very important for Bitcoin. What happens if Bitcoin breaks below the moving averages is it needs to kind of hold this area of support in order to have a potential to get back above the moving averages. And probably a lot of this is happening because of the tariff talk, the uncertainty in the market. It's making everything very volatile and not as healthy as it could be. You see back here in 2017, I mean, that is a very healthy stage 2. 2021, very healthy stage 2. And we've had a very healthy stage 2 in 2024, but we are kind of coming into some choppy waters. And so what I'd be looking at, to make a long story short, is If Bitcoin breaks below these two 30 and 40-week moving averages, it needs to find support between $69,000 and $73,000. That would give it the potential to break back above in a bullish fashion if we get some quantitative easing, if we get some interest rate lowering, something of that nature to keep the momentum going for stage 2. If that does not happen and it breaks down here to around 64 or even lower down into $59,000 range, what we could then see is, one, Bitcoin would fall below this higher high section, or this previous higher high section. That means that the trend could be reversing. Two, the second thing is that if it breaks down, you'll still have a time to get out, but the next thing that's probably going to happen is something like this. Bitcoin can fall down, right? Fall down, touch somewhere in here, touch somewhere down in here, and then start to make its way back up. Well, what will probably happen in order to confirm that this is a stage 3 is that these moving averages, keep coming over here like this, and Bitcoin will come up and fail to get above. If this happens right here, it's a very high likely that this is stage 3, somewhere in here and somewhere in here. And then Bitcoin will start to slowly make its way down into stage 4 for a bear market a little bit sooner than people expect. So we see here these things, right? You see here and here, this is a stage 3. Over here, stage 3 was much faster. Stage 3 and kind of like stage 3, something along those areas. When Bitcoin dropped below the 30 and the 40 right here, and then it came up and tried and failed on rejection, that is when stage 4 started. Where's 2021? In 2021, when Bitcoin, we remember the big drop, the double top in Bitcoin in 2021. Bitcoin fell below the 30 and the 40, but quickly maintained momentum back above and came up to retest the 30. When it retested the 30, it gained that momentum. Okay, that was a big sign. This whole area of 30 and 40 intermingling is classic stage 3 behavior, but we still got this higher high area. Okay. What we're trying to talk about is that stage 3 is coming for Bitcoin, I think. The matter is, does Bitcoin go to 150,000 before it happen, or does it happen next month, right? And there's some other charts that say otherwise, but this is just something that needs to be on your radar, especially when Bitcoin falls below the 30 and 40 and gets rejected. This is the start of stage 4 right here in 2021 and 2022, okay? And so what we're looking at here is a couple scenarios. First, if Bitcoin maintains above the 30 and 40-week moving average, stage 2 can continue, okay? This can be some bullish news that happens next week. This could be some bullish news that happens, in late March, with the whole, maybe March 18th or March 27th. There's some big dates coming up. Maybe it's in April, right? There's some catalyst that could keep Bitcoin up here. Next week could be a rocket of a week, and that's what we have to watch. You want to watch next week and over the next couple weeks or the next month or two to see, does Bitcoin stay above the 30 and 40-week moving averages? If it does, we're still in stage 2. If it does not and it starts to break down, then you want to ask, can Bitcoin kind of hold this level? Right? Can it hold this level? If it breaks support, we could be in trouble, and this could be a stage 3 topping distribution phase. It will most likely come back up to test the moving averages, which is where you would want to sell if it fails. Then, if Bitcoin does break below the 30 and 40 and hold support, it can continue going higher, all right? But stage 3, stage 4, this is something I'm looking at, stage wave analysis, and I think it's very important for a lot of people to take into effect and understand. This is what Bitcoin could be doing. I think that there's still a lot of reasons to be bullish on the crypto market, and I personally am, partially because of charts like this. Let me remove some of this. Partially because of charts like M2, and I'm going to make a different video on M2, but when you have charts like this showing that, let me update this a little. We're going to make this to 70. Showing that M2 is growing. Historically, Bitcoin grows with it, okay? Now this, if you're not familiar, is a chart of global money supply in yellow and Bitcoin price. Most people use an offset from M2 to Bitcoin price, and that's what we added here, the 70-day offset. And what you can see when you zoom in here is that on the daily chart, you have to move it to the daily chart, is that Bitcoin lines up pretty well recently since 2024 with this 70-day offset. And so many people are saying that if Bitcoin lines up with the M2, the big question is, does M2 continue upwards and put in a new all-time high? If M2 continues upwards, puts in a new all-time high right here, Bitcoin would be highly likely to continue following it as it has. That would be very bullish for the crypto market because Bitcoin is not just an American asset. American government can do all the worst things and other countries can do all the best things and Bitcoin can still go higher. And so the big thing people are watching is, does Bitcoin come down just like M2, 70 days offset? And then does it follow it higher all the way into May and June? Okay, so this is stage wave analysis. I'm going to put the link in the bio. I also have my crypto 100x blueprint in the link down below. And I am not a trader. I just look at these things to add to my fundamental analysis perspective, long-term perspective. And I don't think there's any reason to worry today about it. But this is something you should keep your mind and your eyes open if you're looking for maybe what's happening in the market. I know it's very uncertain in time. So I wouldn't be surprised if Bitcoin holds above the 30 and 40, but it's very volatile. If it does decide to fall below, we can have another conversation. We'll continue making videos on it. But this is something I think you should be aware of if you're in the crypto space. All right. That's what I'm looking at on Bitcoin. That's, I don't know what it's going to do, but I'm watching for certain scenarios to play out. All right. Drop a comment if you have a question below, because I know it can be a little confusing. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe. We appreciate all the help we can get. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we will definitely see you in the next one for more Bitcoin content.